All right, let's get started. We're gonna start with a poll. So if everyone viewing my screen could fill out this poll, that would be greatly appreciated. And before we get started, I'm just gonna ask that you keep your video off, keep your microphone muted, submit all questions into the chat box, and questions will be answered. I always say at the end of the session, but honestly, if I see that you put a chat in the chat box, I'll try my hardest to get it as quickly as possible. This session will be recorded and available on YouTube, and you'll receive an email within 24 hours with the link to watch this recorded session. If you are viewing this as a recording or live, and you would have any questions, just email me, and that's scarabin@bluewv.org. And grab some paper and a pen because you're probably going to want to take notes. We have just a few more folks joining us. Hello, if you're just joining, please keep your video off, keep your microphone muted, and fill out the poll on the screen. If you're joining via phone call, which it looks like one or two of you are, you won't be able to access the poll, but that's okay. I just hope you are doing well. It looks like everyone's doing pretty good. Someone's doing and I hope your day is going to be much improved by this awesome presentation I put together for you. Most of you are joining us from the office. And that poll. All right. So my name is Savannah Carabin. I'm the Business Operations and Marketing Coordinator for the City of Bluefield Community and Economic Development Department. And I serve the same role for the Bluefield, West Virginia Economic Development Authority. The reason we are hosting this class is because many of you have heard about our My Own Business Institute, MOBI, and that's how you find out about office hours. If you're not aware, this topic that I'm covering today and many more business-related topics are covered in our online Entrepreneurs Bootcamp. We have 2 modules, starting a business and expanding your business. So if you haven't heard about MOBI and you are here, it's probably because I bugged you and thought that you needed this information, and I'm so glad that you're here. The Bluefield, West Virginia Economic Development Authority was created to spearhead the Intuit Alorica project and work as a catalyst to continue developing Intuit's partnership to assure sustainability. BETA has taken on the role of ensuring growth opportunities, development, and mentorship to the region's business owners and entrepreneurs. We are thankful for the city's partnership with Intuit and Intuit's investment in you. So, some topics that we're going to cover today. Do me a favor, fill out this poll. If y'all don't know by now, I love polls. So we're going to cover key terms when it comes to looking at insights on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and what these key terms in this data tell us. We're going to talk about how many times a week you should post, how many times a day you should post, what time of the day you should post, how you can schedule posts on Facebook and Instagram, how you can advocate for your business or organization on your personal Facebook page without being annoying, and that's super important. Only 4 out of 9 of you have completed the poll, and just know I can tell if you don't complete the poll. I'll know, and I'll ask you. Okay, someone else completed the poll. Thank you. This doing these polls kind of allows me to gauge where you all are at, and make sure, if you all are familiar with one specific term, I'm not going to spend 5 minutes talking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. You guys seem to know some of these key terms I'm going to talk about. So I'll do a quick overview. So in order to best interact with your audience on social media, you need to put yourself in the shoes of your audience, but perhaps with a different organization. So who do I follow that I like? So who do you follow that you like? What do you like about them? What kind of posts do you find yourself liking of theirs? Is it pictures? Is it pictures of the past of this business or organization? Are you liking pictures of what they do for their services, or is it just text of what they do for their services? pay attention to your posts that perform better than others. So we're going to dive in on how to gauge those metrics. So a perfect example, if I run a restaurant and I'm going to pay more attention to the way that I interact with other restaurants on social media. So if I own, a cute little cafe, I'm going to, and I love the Blue Spoon Cafe and I love going to brunch. I'm going to see what they post, what do I like that they post, and what seems to be getting engagement for them. Is there anything that they're posting that doesn't get as much engagement? And you can kind of gauge from there what you need to be posting. Let's talk about these key terms. Reach measures how many unique individual accounts viewed your post. So this is taking all the possible views and saying, all right, 5 people saw your post on Facebook. However, impressions measure how many times the post appeared in front of someone. This doesn't count how many individual people see it, rather how many times they chose to see it. Engagement is a number of people that took the time to click or react to your content. And if you don't know what reacting is, that's the heart, like, laughing, so on and so forth. So perfect example, if someone sees your post, that's a reach. If they comment on your post, that's an engagement. If they scroll away from your post and let's say someone else on their friends list replies to their comment on your post and they come back to view the comment, that's a second engagement. So that's 2 impressions and 2 engagements. If you can draw people to engage with your post, you can drive up reach, and Facebook and Instagram will prioritize the content. Okay, let's talk about insights. Real quick, I want to see where you guys are familiar when it comes to looking at insights. So do you typically look at your insights? If you don't know what that is, it's okay. Just say you don't know what it is. But in layman's term, it tells you, how many likes did you get? And it usually pops up as a banner on the bottom of your Facebook post or your Instagram post. So 3 out of 9 of you have responded. Please look at your screen and respond to my poll. In the meantime, I'm going to play this first video. So I'm using our department's Facebook page as an example. All right. So you look down here, it says 1,698 people reached. Good idea, 7 shares. When you click on that reach button, you're able to see more accurately 1,698 were organic. Obviously, I didn't pay to boost this post, so my total is going to be organic. I received 8 reactions and 7 shares. And I'm able to see there are 34 link clicks. However, that does not mean 34 people clicked on it. It just means there are 34 link clicks total. So someone could have clicked on the post 2 or 3 times. But 23 times the photo was viewed. And again, that does not mean 23 people looked at the photo. It means there were 23 clicks onto the photo so it could pop up big on the screen. And some people can view those, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many times, it's up to them. And if it's a video, that will show up here. I'll share those results. I don't know about y'all, but I like seeing results. All right, the second one, this is our Instagram page. So I just selected a random post here, and you can see where it says View Insights. I tapped on that. If you drag up from the bottom of the screen, you're able to see more. So I had 40 likes, 1 comment, and this is really neat right here, is it shows you how many times your story was shared somewhere else. So this is someone putting it on their story or DMing it to somebody else. And this is 1 interaction, so the actions taken from this post. You can also gauge profile visits, so that means this post may have appeared in someone's timeline, or let's say Joe Schmo shared it onto his story, And one of Joe Schmo's followers was like, oh, what is this place? They tap on it and click go to post. They view our profile. So that's basically what happened. So I reached 171 accounts. 3% of those accounts were not following me. That's good information to have. No one from the post followed me because of the post. And sometimes you'll see at the top, there's like a little follow button. However, I did get 217 impressions, and it shows you where they're from, whether it was the home screen, if they went to our profile and then saw the post, if they went to the Bluefield, West Virginia location and saw it from there, and other. I think I covered everything. Yeah. So there's a deeper dive on Instagram for insights, and this is important because I always say you should post on Instagram one time a day, and we'll cover that. But the one time you post on Instagram, you want to know what time you should post. Scheduling your most important posts referring to sales and events should be posted on the correct day. I'd recommend posting up to 1 hour before your followers are the most active. And we're going to look and see how we can figure that out. So we're going to click on that little, if you didn't see, little bar keeps popping up. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you can see, went to our page, pause, you hit this little insights button here. When you click that, since your insights have new look, Instagram just updated. So this was a little different for me when I first went to do it. I can see this is overall in the last 7 days. I've reached 152 accounts. That's 16 content interactions. And what's really important to look at is, obviously I'm down, so please don't judge my Instagram profile. I just started working for the department, so this is new for me. If you're down, you need to start posting more. And total followers, this is good. Increased by 0.6%. That's a start. This is just a breakdown that shows you what the terms mean if you forget when you swipe up. So the second option I showed, there's like the little 3 bar at the top. You can also go there and hit insights as well, and it'll take you to the same place. So you can tap each row to view more insights like it says, and that's what I did. And it does a better breakdown of the last 7 days. My followers were the most active on Saturday. You're able to see, profile visits, email button taps, call button taps. No one really has a reason to call us, so that's always going to be 0. Not a lot of people have a reason to go to our profile and email us, so that's not going to have any percentage either. But if your business or organization relies on people contacting you, you want to make sure that your contact information on your Facebook and your Instagram is up to date. So contact interactions, post interactions 16, likes, comments, story interactions. And this is what's really neat, is going into your follower breakdown. You're able to see your top locations, your age range, genders. And I know this is going kind of fast. We're going to cover this again in Creator Studio. But this is good information to have. And you can tap down here for most active times on Mondays. I kind of got cut off the bottom of the screen, but you're able to see what time on that Monday. And you can keep on tapping it until it says a different day. All right, so we're gonna get the way deeper than this. All 3 terms go into hand when it comes, like my example, what does it mean when your post has a high reach and barely any likes? Your content is getting out there because we have the high reach, but it may not be, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, it's probably boring. If you're new though, if your business is still relatively new to posting on Facebook, you're going to have a lower reach and lower likes. I mean, everyone has to start somewhere, and you're going to have to build from there. Let's see, what does it mean if your reach is low and your likes are low? You may not be creating content that is optimized for Facebook or Instagram, or you don't have a lot of followers. Consider using paid advertisements or boosts to get more likes and followers if you're just starting out, or if you're picking up social media after not doing it for a long time. I did not make the rules on this one. This is just what I found to be the most effective and not annoying. And you may say, well, why does it matter? If people get overwhelmed with the content that you post, especially if it's content that they just don't find engaging or they don't agree with, they will unlike or unfollow you. Again, I don't make the rules. I'm sure I know I do a lot, and some of you may as well. If someone just keeps on repeatedly posting stuff that's just annoying, I'm gonna go unlike the Facebook page because I'm tired of seeing that on my home screen. You want your content to be in front of as many people as possible, so you want to make sure you're not driving people to unlike your page. And in that insights, I'll show you later, you'll be able to see if people are unliking your page, and we'll cover that. So the amount of times you should post every single day, Facebook and Instagram. How many times a day should I post? 1 to 3 times on Facebook, because Facebook, it shuffles the way people view things, so it's not like it's going to be in chronological order. However, on Instagram, please only post 1 time a day, and this is an old rule. Instagram is slightly more chronological. It's not perfect, but it can very quickly, all your posts can get grouped together, and people are like, wow, they're spamming my newsfeed. I don't want to follow them anymore, they'll unfollow you. However, if you have more content that pops up outside of your normal daily Instagram post, post it on your story. Platforms are always evolving, and Facebook just recently reduced the power on the publisher tool. So they are driving content creators to use Creator Studio, which is actually really easy to access. So last week when I was asked about scheduling Facebook and Instagram posts, I was like, oh, use Facebook Publisher, that's what I use. And I went today to make a video, and Facebook like disabled the schedule for both Instagram and Facebook feature on publisher tools. But that's fine. There's a solution. However, you need to keep in mind that Facebook is always changing, and you're going to want to Google how to do things. And we'll start. So this is what your page looks like normal. Normal page, looking great. You can either create a post or you can go over here to publishing tools. And in the past, publisher or publish tools lived on this page. You would just create a post and go from there. However, they've made it more complicated. So we're going to go down here to Creator Studio. It's going to open up a new window. And this is going to be overwhelming the first time you look at it. And it is okay. I highly encourage you to press every single button and learn what it does. So just a few highlights. Just looking at the page, you can go on your toolbar on the left-hand side. I clicked Insights. However, it pulls up your video insights first, and this may be because Facebook's trying to prioritize more video content. I don't know if that's just more so competing with YouTube, or people are just posting more videos now than ever. However, I would still stick with posting all types of different content. So when you go to your content library, you're able to see your previous posts, and usually you can see metrics for that as well. It even covers stories, which is really neat, because before you didn't have as many insights on stories. You're able to see, engagements and unique opens. Videos, you can cross-post. Cross-posting videos works best. For instance, I manage economic development and the City of Bluefield Facebook page. So if the city posts a video that's relevant to us, I can cross-post those videos very easily. Series is another kind of video thing going on. Again, there is a curation crash course. And whenever Facebook pops up these little helper tools, I highly recommend reading them and doing this tutorial. So we're going to post something. And this is for Facebook. Notice that there's a little Facebook icon up here that's selected. I found it really important. I always put get messages button on things that I post because typically what we do is informative and we want people to follow up with their questions and have a direct call to action. And that's a term that you'll hear a lot when it comes to social media marketing and marketing in general. You don't want to just leave someone, okay, I viewed the post. What now? Their call to action should either be a want to share the post, a want to send you a message asking you questions about the post, or calling you to schedule whatever it is your business or organization has. And you can also create, there's more, if you hit multimedia, there's more options. You can do those photo carousels, the slideshows, the new instant experience. However, you notice you cannot share to Instagram from there. And I'll show you how to cover sharing. You need to connect your Instagram. But if you hit that Instagram button at the top, same deal. You got your content library, you have your insights. If you found that it was a little weird to look at insights on the Instagram app, viewing it on your browser screen, it's going to be much more laid out and much easier for you to interpret that data. This is my favorite right here is the audience tab, and you can show by age and gender or age and gender. So let's look at that for a second. Men in this 25 to 34 category succeeds women, but women is more than men in the 35 to 44. That's really helpful and really good to know when you're trying to curate content. When your followers are on Instagram, this is so important. Ours is pretty streamlined, but you can see that, Thursday's a little bit higher and Monday's a little bit higher. So it looks like some folks, few, not all of them, are getting off the phones for the weekends, and we could probably attribute that to some of our older followers. And we go by day and hour. This is so fun. It looks really confusing, but those dark boxes are when people are the most active. So let's see, like Monday at 12 a.m., I had 97 followers active. Wednesday was at 8 a.m., 10 followers. So you can kind of see where your dead space is, which is really neat. And then you're kind of able to see where your last space is at. And this is real cool. So we have followers from Austria, Germany, Brazil, and Nigeria. But 31% of our followers come from Bluefield. Good to know. Does it's more than likely Bluefield, West Virginia, followed by Bluefield, Virginia. I'm sure if you click, it'll give you more information. That's good to know. Bluefield, West Virginia, Princeton, Bluefield, Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia. So that's another thing. Why are people from Charleston, interacting with us? Obviously, they're taking a peek at what we're doing. And if you remember from last week, I always said you can use your social media to keep an eye on your competition. So this is important when we create a post. It took a second for it to load for me earlier. If you saw it's an insert to the feed or IGTV. If you post videos regularly for your business or organization, I highly recommend getting involved in IGTV because if you post to Instagram normally, you're only allowed to have about 10 seconds of content, but IGTV allows you to have much longer videos and then select a short clip to post in the body of your actual Instagram feed. Okay, I'm going to finish the video. Okay. So we saw the Instagram IGTV. So this is posting to your Instagram feed. You're going to add your content because Instagram is picture-based, so you have to have some form of picture or video. Or as you saw, back it up just a second. Backing it up too far. Sorry, guys. When you add that content, look, it says from file upload or from Facebook page. So if you've already posted something on your Facebook page that you want to share to your Instagram, you can hit that from Facebook page option. I'll cover that in just a second. I feel like I'm moving really slowly when I build these videos, but obviously I'm not moving slowly enough. So pulling from Facebook page, boom, here are all of our posts. And it shows you like the boxes are a little bit grayed out, and those are the posts that you can't use on your Instagram, but you can use the posts that still have a good check mark. So I selected our recent Alorica promotion, and now you can write your caption. So you write your caption like you would on Instagram, and you can also tag accounts. So if you start doing that @ symbol, look, I can tag Bluefield State, whoever, and this is their actual Instagram page. Treat this caption box just like you would on Instagram. And don't forget, if it's applicable, definitely add your location, because especially when people aren't from the area. So let's say I'm traveling to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I look on Instagram. I'm going to search Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm going to see all of the relevant posts in either chronological order, in order to, something could pop up like a cute restaurant, or someone's taking a really cute picture at a location. Maybe it's like the Hatfield McCoy trail location, Trailhead, something like that. And you can, it'll be tagged back to your post, and then they can view your profile. And if they like you, they can follow you. You can schedule your post, or you can publish now. This is the important part, as the advanced settings. You can tag your business partner. So if this is a paid advertisement, say Alorica paid us to post it, which they did not, or it would be up there. You can search for a business partner, and the tag partner will be able to see the metrics from the posts. So let's say we put that landscape picture back up again, and we go to advanced settings. You can tag your business partner. So let's say we hired a photographer to take this picture, but the important part in the accessibility, you can describe your photos for people with visual impairments, and all text will automatically be created, but you can write your own, and this can be especially helpful to people who view your profile who may not be able to see the image that well. When you're ready, you just hit that schedule or post now button, and it will push. And if you selected that, your Facebook page, it will push it to your Facebook page as well. So if you aren't getting the kind of reach and engagement that you want, you can always ask your employees to share what you post. Some will, some won't, and that's okay. Never force them to repost. It's probably like illegal to ask your employees to do something like that. If you feel weird about asking them to share your content, you can easily break the ice by asking your employees if they mind you spotlighting them on your social media. You can share what they do for your organization, what they do for their community, and etc. Your employees and their family and friends may feel more compelled to share your content from that moment forward, and that may kind of open the door to your employees being more willing to share your content without you specifically having to ask. Some employees love being in front of the camera and getting a shout out, on Facebook for the work that they're doing, and it also can boost morale in the workplace. However, let's go to the next slide. Here we go. So what if you're not getting the reach and engagement you want? It is time to think outside the box. Sometimes if you post too much mundane content in a row, Facebook is like, and they put you in like Facebook business jail. This is not a real thing. This is just a term that I make up. You can do throwaway posts to instantly boost engagement by asking a question or prompting people to answer. You remember what I said last week? People love to give you their opinion and they will give it to you for free. So some perfect examples are, who are you rooting for at the Grand Beaver game? Or we want to know where all of our fans are. Comment to let us know where you're liking our page from. This would be specifically helpful for my folks who do stuff on the Happy McCoy trails, because obviously you're getting an influx of people in from, wherever. And asking those people just to comment where they're from or where they visited you from can boost your engagement a lot. Another example is to host a contest and like give something small away. It doesn't matter if it's like a $10 gift card. People don't care. They'll do anything for money. However, I would not give a contest for like actual money. Like whatever you give away should directly feed back into your store or your organization. You can also do like a live video about anything related to your organization. Keep it relevant. Whatever you do, keep it relevant to your current happenings, your organization, or your community. You do not want to come across as a phony, because some people will be like, "What did you cook for dinner tonight?" I mean, it's not like compelling enough. If I see a post, "What are you cooking for dinner tonight?" I don't feel compelled to share. But if it's, let's say, the Bluefield Lemonade Festival is coming up and your business needs some engagement, you can post, "We're so excited about the Lemonade Festival. What's your favorite recipe including lemons?" And keeping it relevant. So looking at some of these things that the Cornerstone did, again, we hosted a contest. We got a bunch of free samples from a company and we're like, "Hey, let's just do a giveaway." And we're like, okay, everyone. So we posted this one first. It's over here. Tag our bride in the comments who's getting married in 2020 or 2021. We're thinking about doing a giveaway. Obviously, this is before the pandemic. Boom, 143 comments, 1,382 people reached, and people were tagging people off the chain. And so the gals that entered, let's face it, it was mostly women who replied to this. It was all women that replied to this. I asked them to send me a picture of them and their spouse and the day they were going to get married, and I made like a little, you can kind of see like for this one, I made a little picture, and I put them all together. And if you remember from last week, I used word swag to make this, did it all on my phone. So I did contest time, help your favorite couple win some wedding goodies from us. Like their picture, share this post, and make sure you like our page for your vote to count. Winner will be announced, blah, blah, blah. 19,304 people reached. That is the highest engagement the page has like ever gotten. 254 shares. That is huge. And I didn't even count how many likes we got from that. And excuse me, I should have. I can go back and do that actually. If y'all are interested, I'll do that in the live Q&A session. But the likes were rolling in, my phone was blowing up, it was unreal, and we built our audience. Another perfect example, Facebook has a polling feature. Use the polls, because not only do people just don't have to comment anything, they still give their opinion by just pressing a button. So this was a way that we flighted a new product about amber necklaces. We're trying to determine the need. If you think the price is dry, say so in the comments. Some people voted, 6 people commented, 31 votes total. That's pretty good. As the coronavirus pandemic came out, remember how I said about keeping it relevant to current happenings? So you've been quarantined with a third person who pops up on your tag list. Who have you been quarantined with? Will you survive? This blew up. It only got 1 share, but look, 180 or 820 people reached. The comments were off the chain, and it's kind of funny. Like this is a friend of mine, and I know her, and she talks about her friend a lot. That made me giggle. So you start seeing people that and you're like, oh, haha, they probably will not survive. That's funny. So let's go to our next slide. Using your personal Facebook to advertise your business. This is extremely touchy, and if you listen to anything that I've had to say this entire presentation, listen to this the most. I'm not telling you to do this, and I'm not telling you to not do this. It's a very fine line when it comes to advertising on your personal Facebook page, and you have to be careful. So 1, you don't annoy anybody, and 2, Facebook will put you in literal Facebook jail. There is a literal Facebook jail, and Facebook will put you in it because they want your business to have a business page, and they want your personal page to be personal. And you have to be careful because you don't want to annoy anyone and make them unfollow you, or worse, unfriend you. not good. So stay dedicated to the other things that you post. And if you're going to post something from your business or organization, share one post a day. Now, perfect example, Mrs. Workman, hopefully you can still hear me. You're not having any connectivity issues. Mrs. Workman's working on a kind of motivational speaker, kind of like lifestyle blog situation. You want the two to intertwine. That is going to be the most effective way of advertising for you. So some of this may not apply to you. However, there's always a fine line with making sure you don't do too much. However, I love what you've been doing so far, and it's just perfectly sprinkled in my timeline. So for those of you that don't know, I believe it's Brenda Workman Speaks on Facebook. Give her a like. Don't share a bunch of what you're doing at the same time. So if your business page is like posted and you finally go home from work and you're like, oh, let me share what I did at work today, space them out, like share them like every other hour or so. Make sure there's no conflict of interest. And it sounds kind of silly to say, but until you think about it, posting something from work and maybe some of your other posts that you post personally may not mesh. And depending on what you do, like I said earlier, your personal page may be the best place to advertise. And you have to use a lot of tact. And if that's a situation that you're in, let me know. I use Mrs. Workman as an example. My dad is another example because he sells trucks to dealerships. He doesn't have a direct business to customer relationship. He's business to business. And he relies on relationships in order to sell his trucks. Therefore, he uses his personal Facebook and personal Instagram to post pictures of his truck or where he's traveling, so on and so forth, in order to get more like, I just want to say good vibes, but the bottom line is people that you become friends with see your content, see what you're posting, see your personal life, and they are able to kind of form a virtual trust with you and what you're doing. So these are a few examples of the way that I brought work into my personal Facebook. However, my personal Facebook's on lockdown. Please don't try to friend me. If you want to be friends with me, please go to LinkedIn. However, I posted, I'm teaching webinar. If you're interested, be sure to pre-register in the link. I had a ton of friends who joined just because I shared this. Alorica's hiring locally. I have a lot of friends who are in need of a job, especially out of COVID. So I was like, oh, this would be really helpful. Let me share this. And a museum that I used to work for and I currently volunteer at they have canaries, and unfortunately experienced an unexpected loss of one of their canaries. However, they turned it into a great public relations piece, and I shared a little bit about that canary. So perfect example, the reason why I share this is people are like, what is the judge? Why is it a bird? And what is this museum? They're more apt to click see more and figure out, they're like, what is Savannah's relevance to this organization? So helpful. So let's talk about reposting Instagram posts to your personal page. So before Instagram stories, it was real cumbersome to repost people's pictures because you had to like screenshot, crop, repost, or get the repost app, and then you had to have like a ugly repost logo in the corner. I highly recommend reposting people's posts to your story because one, you can track views, so you can see how many people saw it. You can track specifically who saw your post. So I'm gonna use my dad as an example again. So let's say a bunch of general managers follow his Instagram and he's posting pictures of his trucks on Instagram. And let's say the company he works for just rolled out a new model. And instead of reposting what headquarters posts, he shared what headquarters posts to his story. And I'll show you how to do that. Let's say, say he does that and he looks to see who else viewed it. He can see which general managers have viewed that Instagram story, and he could reach out to them and say, hey, I saw you saw the new chassis we released. Please let me know if you're interested. And that is a conversion to a purchase. And it doesn't clutter your personal feed when you do it that way. So here is reposting on an Instagram story. So here's my normal feed. It's filled with normal people, whatever. You go to that search bar. I clicked this too many times. Sorry, guys. Increase the quality for some reason. All right. So your normal Instagram page, this is your normal personal account. You go to that search bar, you search your company, whoever you're working for. So here's a CED. Obviously now I'm looking at my business page, but this is like just like any other page that I look at. There's no insights button or nothing. I'm interacting with this page as my personal account. So I'm going to tap the post, and I don't know if you saw it. There's that little share button. You're going to click that little button, add post to your story. And from here, you can format it. You can add stickers, you can add music, you can draw on it, you can add some text. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then you're able to, you can scale it to size, and you hit the little My Story button. If you have close friends, you can share it to your close friends too. But I just hit Your Story. Boom. So go back to your home screen, tap the home screen again, brings you up to the top. So if you saw my little person had the little ring around it like everyone else's does, that means I have content that I posted. So it's uploading. Once it's done uploading, swipe up with your finger and you'll see a list of people that have viewed your Instagram story. Now here's the very important part. This is a key piece of information. Up until your first 50 views, I believe it's either 50 or 100, I'll have to double check, it will show in chronological orders. As soon as you reach the 51st, so like it'll show the first person that viewed it at the top, and then the second person moves to the top, and then the third person moves to the top, and so on and so forth. Once you reach 51, it's going to reshuffle the entire views, and it is going to show you the top 50 accounts that interact with your page the most. So the first 3 views that you'll see after you get more than 50 views are people that interact with your page the most and view your stories the most. This is pertinent because these are the people that you're going to want to reach out to for conversion. Okay, so there are no questions in the chat box, but don't leave just yet. Does anyone have any questions that they want to put in the chat box? I'm also going to do a Q&A session that's going to be like not recorded. Put your questions in the chat box if you have them. Before we end, just so you all know, anyone is welcome to attend our webinars. However, if you are local to the region, such as like both Bluefields, McDowell, Mercer, Monroe, Raleigh, Summers, or Wyoming counties, or Tazewell, Virginia, and you need additional information on this topic or any other topic relating to business, please reach out to me. We're always searching for new content to host webinars on, and if it's a niche topic, we'll contact or connect you with a Create Opportunity partner that can help you out. So that being said, there is a survey from Intuit I have dropped in the chat box. If you'll be so kind as to fill out the survey, it tells Intuit that we're doing our job and we're hosting quality content, and you're telling them how familiar you are with this topic and if you feel more confident after watching my presentation. So I am going to stop the recording.